The 49ers, 30-24, beat the Dallas Cowboys in a game that they had to have, in a game that sets them up now for some bye week success. They will not be sellers at the deadline. Let's see what they do go about adding, if they do add at the deadline, whether it be an offensive piece, a defensive weapon. But now there is absolute direction for the rest of this year, and the direction is do not give up on this year. The next month of football, 3 very difficult road games, a game against Seattle. By the way, guess who's back in first place in the NFC West as of right now? It's the San Francisco 49ers. So everything that they want to be, they still can be coming out of the bye week. If there was ever a team that needed a week away and a reset, it's the Niners. So the bye week, well-timed. Hopefully some healing on this team will be well-timed. And if Christian McCaffrey is really back and can go in a healthy McCaffrey-ish way the rest of the way, sky's the limit. You would think for a team that tonight, even with all of their limitations, even with all of the, well, that's not right, this guy's not available, that guy's not having a good game, this guy's not as fast as he used to be. 49ers still had 469 yards of offense tonight. They were 8-16 on third down. They ran 64 total plays, more plays than the Cowboys, even though the Cowboys had more time of possession in this game. They forced 2 turnovers from the Cowboys. They did not turn the ball over. Had they committed only half of their 9 penalties for 73 yards, this whole game would have looked and flown so much differently. They needed to beat the Dallas Cowboys by hook, by crook, sexy win, ugly win, did not matter. It just had to be in the win column, and it is. It was more of a sweat than you might have wanted it to be. But when it's all said and done, you're right, Xavier. You needed that for your mental health. You needed that for your season's health. You needed that to be less than the most vulnerable trying to make the playoffs team in the NFC. And right now, the Dallas Cowboys officially wear that designation. For a team that began the year with playoff aspirations, the Cowboys are now in a whole lot of trouble. They're in a whole lot of trouble. The 49ers, had they lost this game, whole lot of trouble. But they avoid a whole lot of trouble with that win. Prevent defense with a 7+ minute left in the fourth quarter. They won. That's it. That's all I got for you. They won. Guerrero played well. They won. Ricky Pearsall played well. They won. They didn't turn the ball over. They won. George Kittle played well. They won. A sack for Nick Bosa. They win. 2 turnovers. That's a win. It's starting to point things in the right direction. Yeah, I think they got a little passive. That's fair. It didn't come back to haunt them ultimately. It didn't. And what really happened was you had 2 dudes run into each other, and that is a level of communication breakdown that's not supposed to happen on the back end of a defense in week 8. But you had 2 guys run into each other and leave CeeDee Lamb wide open in the end zone all by himself. That can't happen. But that's kind of what happened. I want to look at this box score a little bit more with you, because we got names in this box score who absolutely affected the outcome of this game that you probably weren't counting on. Number 1, Isaac Guerrero, 85 yards, 6.1 yards average for Guerrero, who really looked like a running back for the first time in his career. Ricky Pearsall, how about a 39-yard little end around that he took to dot the fact that he had 4 catches on 4 targets for a 38-yard night for Ricky Pearsall, who looked good for sure. George Kittle, what a monster game he had. Not even half the catches of CeeDee Lamb and nearly all the yards, with a 21.3 average, a touchdown for Kittle. And remember, this is a game where he had a touchdown called back on him as well. Deebo Samuel had a long touchdown called back on him as well. Now they have an opportunity to reset the entire year, and they need to take advantage of that opportunity. I think that they're going to be in position to still surprise everyone and have a much different second half than they did first half. The first half has been a convoluted mess. Now, I don't mean the second half of this game. I mean the second half of this entire season. The win that the 49ers needed is the one that they got tonight. It was not pretty. It was not easy. It was not a game full of moments that are learning moments. It was just a survive the night kind of game, and the Niners did that. Exactly what they needed to do, survive the night. Look, the only thing that could ever come to Kyle on any night is public criticism. The man is in zero danger of losing his job. Anyone who's telling you that Kyle Shanahan is on a hot seat is the most misinformed, disinformation, honor-bound, doesn't know what he's looking at media member you can find covering this team. Kyle is not in trouble. You think the bye week will refresh this team, Iceman 0072? I do. I absolutely do. I think the bye week is exactly what this team needs right at the time where they need it. Now is the time. And it's been nothing but a bumpy ride. Maybe now it starts to smooth itself out. 3 of their next 4 coming out of the bye are on the road. You are in Green Bay, you're in Buffalo, and you're in Tampa Bay. You're home to the Seattle Seahawks. That's not going to be easy either. The next 4 games really will tell you all you need to know about the Niners, and God bless them if they're 3-1 over their next 4 games. Sky's going to continue to be the limit for this team. I don't know if they got a sky's the limit quality defense, but I don't know if I don't know if that's available. I don't know if they are going to, out of nowhere, start playing a level of defense that makes you go, well, I'm not worried about that anymore. I think it's going to be a sweat going forward. I would say they need to tackle better. I mean, I didn't think this was they weren't mean enough. They weren't locked in. They weren't dialed in. I didn't think that was a problem. Again, I've never had a problem with a single team giving effort for Kyle Shanahan. I don't think effort's a problem. I think they might have slowed down a little bit. I think they might have gotten a little bit older. They're not as good as they used to be. They're still pretty good, but they're not as good as they used to be. That is a reality that we're looking at here too. But they've got a few elements that could have allowed them to become better than they are baked into the cake of this season. And I would like to see what this team looks like in Tampa coming out of a bye week.
Thanks for watching. Tune into the Damon Bruce Show live on YouTube every weekday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific.